Volga had just mentioned. And likewise, HTX is also highly compliant across the globe. We currently are shooting for the FMP license here in Dubai with Vara. And moving ahead, we are also going to be very aligned with the MiCA licensing in Europe as well. So these are some of the initiatives that we are taking actively to make sure that we continue to lead together with the other exchanges, providing truly secure services and being compliant to the entire region across the globe.
Okay, I would just add a small point here. Like, I agree with the previous panelists, what their opinion towards how we implement the compliance to our service, how we view the role of regulation in our daily operation. I will also want to add on that is, like BingX, we are quite active in the discussion of the potential regulatory implementation of our business in the region that we operate. One thing we really like, since we are in Dubai, one thing I really like Dubai regulation, the way Dubai regulates the industry is that Vara actually set very detailed, very specific requirement for various business subsector. I think that clarity is super important for business operators, and I think Dubai, like Vara and FSRC, actually set a very good example for the regulators in other regions. That's very clear, easy to follow, and we know how we can really comply to those requirements. Okay, I would just.
Okay, thank you guys. Yes, balancing regulation compliance and user experience as well as innovation is crucial, and I'm glad that there are a lot of measures being taken to take care of that. And speaking of advancements, today we all recognize that blockchain technology refers not only to crypto and crypto trading. So, and as we look ahead to the development of broader Web3 ecosystem, it is crucial for us to envision how we can leverage blockchain technology beyond trading. So how do you see blockchain contributing beyond trading to Web3 as we move further into 2024?
Okay, I will take this first. Okay, I myself is really passionate in Web3 technology advancement and all the very fantastic application happening in this space. For example, BingX, we notice there is a lot of artificial AI technology advanced in technology sector. But how can we implement those things in crypto or use crypto technology to have more meaningful and real life implementation here is always something that we're tracking, and I myself personally very interested in. I will just mention a few projects I'm looking at, but that's not an investment advisor. So, for example, IO.net, this is a project that I really like because for those big language model, it's really resource consuming. So it's not, maybe by far, it's not compatible to what blockchain technology was built. However, the implementation or application on top of that trained big language model is something we can work on. So that's where those IO.net bring the distributed computing service to facilitate the AI inference in the technology sector. And another sectors I really looking into is GameFi sector, because GameFi is not only the entertainment tool, right? Entertainment product. It's also give a live use case for NFT. So it's both gaming and an NFT. And very different from last bull run. Last bull run, actually, I participated in quite a few Web3 game projects, but to be honest, the experience is not so good. But this time, I'm very glad to see a lot of very experienced Web2 game builders joining Web3 space, and they also partner. They have money, they have resource. They partner with also very experienced and matured ops team in crypto industry, and to improve the token economics mechanism. And all what they do collectively can provide our very good user experience, and they are quite playable nowadays. Even you can download from the App Store, Android Store. I myself played a few. They are really, really good. So this is something that I'm really excited to see in this space. Yes.
As someone that also plays video games, I think 2024 is going to be a really fascinating year for Web3 gaming. I don't like the term GameFi because as a gamer, gaming and finance doesn't sound like fun, right? Like that sounds horrible actually. But there will be really engaging games coming online this year. And for us at OKX, we've actually done a few things to make it more accessible for the rest of the ecosystem. So we've actually announced 2 partnerships recently. One with Mochaverse, that's the Animoca's sort of ID that sort of stretches around their gaming universe. We're supporting that in our OKX wallet. We also announced a partnership with Immutable, again, a gaming-focused blockchain ecosystem. Their goal is to bring more games into Web3. And our goal is to make sure that our users, all of our users...
Like GameFi, like what are measures, for example, being taken at OKX?
Okay, I already highlighted some of the things we're doing in the gaming space, but on the NFT side, I'm bummed I can't announce it right now, but we're working very closely with some of our brand partners, McLaren, Manchester City, to really see how we can bring and elevate the NFT experience to their fan base, right? Obviously, we're familiar with crypto, but there's still a lot of the global audience that have heard of it, are unfamiliar, and want to learn a little bit more. So stay tuned, please. I think in May, we're doing some announcements around what we're working with them. I think what you'll see is that by bringing NFTs, Web3, and also this ability to interact with these digital assets to a wider audience, we will be able to create and sort of expand the users we have.
Okay. What about Bitget?
Oh, there were beautiful also like advancements from our end, especially when it comes to NFTs and the ability of NFTs to help us to tokenize stuff. And I'm very keen when it comes to decentralized, like a real-world assets, and also DePIN and making available different infrastructure, gig economy, or if you want to sell back the energy you produce, or you have an electric car charger and you want to lend it to your neighbors. I think there are so many projects that we already listed that I'm very keen about, and we are working with different providers and developers to enable or to give a second chance to the NFTs that's possible in this bull run. I hope we can all get there. But moreover than that, we recently announced the Blockchain for Use and Blockchain for Her project. It's like a $10 million fund each, where we want to educate more users and more people, not to come just trade within the platform, what centralized exchanges are made for, but actually come and build and develop, because we believe there's so many opportunities and we need so much talent, not only as a Bitget, but entire economy and industry. Therefore, I think for next 2 years, we will be more and more trying to invest as much resources as possible to develop the talent or to enable more entrepreneurs to come and build on the platform rather than trying to do everything ourselves.
Yeah, I think very similarly, over here we have an arm, HTX Ventures, that are also actively looking at supporting a lot of projects in the area of AI and also NFTs. But I think we are actually heavily focusing on DePIN technology this time, because I think it brings a lot of value to real applications. So this is mainly our focus, and hopefully with this implementation, we can reach out to more people and the mass to actually provide, real-world use cases to the larger community. Like you said, beyond just trading.
Fascinating.
Okay, let me add one more last point on that. Yeah, I just wonder, why don't we just mention our listing service, right? Token listing, I think, is a very powerful tool to have those very good projects, no matter it's GameFi, Web3, or whatsoever, to be seen by the user and by the community. And for BingX, we were very proactive since last year, because we revamped our focus on providing good quality asset, etc. And we really we sent the research team out there. When they find good opportunity, good projects, we will just go directly to the project to negotiate the deal, to negotiate token listing on our website. Because when community really want those good projects, really want to see those good projects. So it is also the responsibility for the exchange, for the listing team to have those projects. This is from another angle, that's how we help improve the overall prosperity of this industry, of this sector.
Okay, thank you, Vivien. And as for my next question, I'd like to delve into one of the crucial aspects of your operation, which is security. Given the rise of in sophistication of cyber threats, it is important for crypto platforms like yours to stay ahead on the curve. So without disclosing any sensitive information, just in general, could you please tell us what measures are being taken to safeguard users against cyber threats?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sure. We're talking about security, right?
Correct.
And obviously, as platforms that have user assets in our custody, your asset security is, I can probably say for all of us, #1 concern, right? And I've been with OKX for 8 years. We've been in business for 11 years. I mean, I think you can just look at our track record of how seriously we take that. Right? We have had no incidents of that sort. And some of the reasons why is because, obviously as our industry has evolved, best practices have also improved. We're doing things like getting SOC 1 and SOC 2 compliant. These are sort of larger than crypto, global technology standards that ensure that our security practices internally actually do what they're supposed to do. We also have things like proof of reserves, right? Where, especially after 2022, where it became evident that some people did not actually believe in keeping users' assets where they should be. This tool allows you to individually go and verify that your assets are still there. If you deposit Bitcoin, your Bitcoin is there. We have not moved it. We show you, and you can go check on the blockchain that your assets have not been moved. And I think these are sort of very powerful tools for us to keep ourselves accountable, but also to allow the public the transparency so you can keep us accountable that we're not doing anything nefarious.
I think similarly to OKX at Bitget, we do employ all the industry standard security measures. Again, we are much younger than OKX and all the other players. We've been around only like 5-6 years, and we never had any incident. Definitely proof of the reserves is very important, and as a Bitget, we try to have around 200% of proof of reserves. It means if all the users decide to pull all your assets, we will still have more money left in a pool. It means assets are not moved anywhere. I know that more of our also competitors, similarly to us, deployed the same technology where you can go and check where exactly your assets are sitting within the custody and ecosystem. But also we were one of the first to introduce in an industry something called the protection fund. We have around more than 400 million now protection fund, which is only consists of Bitcoins. There are 6,500 Bitcoins and rest is USDT. It is the second largest protection fund after the Binance's protection fund out there. It means if anything happens, we will still have more reserves to make sure that we return the user's fund if anything happens due our fault or any misconduct happens or happens something that there's a breach or attack, which never happened before because we have the security measures in place, but in case something goes wrong, we will still have more funds to make sure that no customers are suffering at the other end.
Yeah, I think you guys have touched on all the points related to security. I think beyond that, we also want to give a lot of institutional traders or large volume traders, especially maybe also additional peace of mind with their assets if they decide to work with third-party custodial service. So at HTX, we have already integrated with Fireblocks, and we are continuing to work with partners alike to bring that service and made it available to our trading community. So even if you decide that you feel safer working with, say, such third-party custodial service, we welcome you on board. Continue to trade with us. We're happy with the integration and to meet those demands that you have.
Yeah, and I think Charmaine mentioned a very good point, that partnership. because we can, for BingX, we are comparatively a small team. We have less than 400 employees working in our company. So we cannot spend our resource spread out in all different projects. So it's very crucial for us to partner with, for example, as you mentioned, third-party custodian and other technology solution services. And also, one thing I want to mention is BingX is really a company that trying to adopt those AI technologies. So now we're working on a project to use AI analysis tool to detect and investigate the suspicious activities on our platform. We want to make sure that nothing bad would happen to our user to make a material loss or those bad results. This is something that BingX really now we are quite active in doing. Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone. It is reassuring for all of us to hear that such proactive measures are being taken, and potentially in the long run we can have a more stabilized market. And as of my next question, I would like to talk more about the tug of war between centralized exchanges and the rise of DeFi. How do you see this playing out in the coming years? I mean, we're not picking sides here. We're embracing both good and everything that is best in the both worlds. But how do you see the role of centralized exchanges evolving with the rise of DeFi and peer-to-peer trading?
I think it's about bringing the right offering to the users, especially depending on a need. Because I always say, for example, we talk about your keys, your wallets, especially the cold wallets. But if you want to trade, or the market is really, really fast, and you can't just always have a cold wallet or even decentralized wallet. Also depends what you want to do. And I believe the greatest service of the centralized exchanges was to onboard more people from the traditional backgrounds with a simple social logins and simple processes to come on board and actually make the best use of the industry. But for example, at Bitget, we tried to cater to all the needs of the users. Therefore, last year we invested a huge investment to Bitget, which is a decentralized Web3 wallet, and we rebranded it to Bitget Wallet. And last month, Bitget Wallet was the world's most transacting wallet, where we had more than 20 million people coming, holding the wallet, and also transacting within there. Therefore, we do definitely see a huge opportunities coming in there. But again, it also has its shortcomings, especially with the new legislations we were mentioning in Europe, where after the certain limit, users are not allowed to transact with the non-KYC wallets in the Web3. Therefore, I believe if we want still to hold assets, or let's say through dApp browsers to acquire different tokens or support a new project, definitely Web3 wallets are important. But more and more, the centralized exchanges, I believe, will be reimagining themselves into becoming like a bank-like organization, where we will be able to facilitate large transactions among the B2B organizations. For example, if tomorrow you want to go pay for your dinner or stay at a hotel or rent a car, it will be much easier to different organizations talk between each other through the centralized exchanges rather than all the decentralized opportunities out there. But is interest growing? Definitely. And shall we jump on that opportunity? We are.
I think that's, just to agree. I think it fundamentally for us also, it boils down to that element of choice, right? There are shortcomings on both sides. Right now, centralized exchange services provide more of an onboarding feature. And probably someone like my mom or my dad will still always go and use the more familiar Web2 sort of centralized exchange experience. But I think as Web3 wallets have grown in capability, but also in popularity, like you said, our wallet has also seen really tremendous growth the past year. And we're seeing more use cases online that really require people to use a Web3 wallet. One example would be the rise of Bitcoin ordinals, for example, right? It's very complicated for centralized exchange to support that, but yet you're seeing so many users go into their wallets and dive into that Bitcoin ecosystem. And so, as we've seen the capabilities improve, our wallet, for example, today already supports 90 different chains and networks. And you're seeing users start to go from, I mentioned Bitcoin. We saw a lot of people get excited about what's happening on Solana. Wallets are now more and more capable, allowing users to go in between chains and bridge and swap and do all the fun things they want to do. We already talked about gaming, right? And I think that's going to be a big wave too. These wallets are almost becoming like an operating system in their own right. They're becoming like a browser. They're becoming like a gateway where the world of Web3 is growing. And so I think this year might be that year where we see that inflection point.
Also, to add one point, I like how wallets are reimagining themselves, because previously it was very hard to transact because you had to gas fees, you had to have a different tokens and change. But now they're learning a lot from the centralized exchanges, and now it's coming like a one-click solution. Therefore, I think the competition is rising as they learn from each other.
I will add something from more general CeFi and SEX or CeFi DeFi aspects. It's I think they all have their strengths. For example, for CeFi, we really look on how to smooth the user experience, how to make a beautiful and seamless UI, right? But I think for DeFi or decentralized side, it's really the hotbed of the innovation. They are agile. Usually you see a very, very small team, but they make beautiful products. And also, most of the DeFi projects is less capital intensive, like wallet. Wallet really heavy service, and it's a gateway. So I think as long as CeFi and DeFi really care about the user experience, they put users' best interest before their own interest. Like CeFi and DeFi, they can live happily. So that's my opinion. So I think in the future, how DeFi and CeFi work together, what is the partnership really bring the landscape of the industry in the future?
Charmaine, you have something to add?
Just one last word.
Yeah.
I think CeFi and DeFi can coexist. This space is, there's so much potential in this entire space and this digital ecosystem. So I don't think it's kind of a battle between us. It's really like what everyone says. It boils down to choices, giving choices to the users, and what makes more sense to you, right? What value do we bring to you? That is more important.
All right, thanks everyone. Fantastic discussion. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank our esteemed panelists for joining us today. I want to thank Blockchain Live for organizing that, and I see you guys next time.
Thanks for moderating.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.